windows and paint and see where that problem is. Well, I see it on this building, which is not my building. As stated earlier, the fellow lets me park my truck and my boat here on that concrete pad, that concrete parking surface. In exchange for that, I keep this little lot here free of litter and keep it tidy as possible. Okay. Now I want to deal with where it's talking here about failing and faulty deteriorated exterior weather and whatnot. There's my windows and my roof. Nothing wrong with those windows. Nothing wrong with the windows. Again, nothing wrong with my windows. I don't have siding in this thing or any of that. All of my windows, my siding is fine, my roof is great. None of those allegations are even true. On part 2 there where it says corrective actions required. None of that's even true, never has been true. The fact is, none of these so-called code enforcement violations are true. None of them are true, none of them have been true. Now where it tells me that I have to discontinue unpermitted residential use of property. Well, fact is that it says it right in the business description, and they have known I have been living here for the last 7 years, 6 years, well, almost 7. They are totally aware of that. The business description states that I sell items by appointment from storage on my home property. Now I'm going to tell you something else that's a fact. A lady by the name of Jackie and another little lady by the name of Letty, who were code enforcement officers with the City of Pasco up to about 2.5 years ago. Both of these ladies bought mattresses from me, from these storage buildings. Both of these ladies bought sofa sets from me, and they bought a dining set from me. They bought them right out of those cargo containers and storage buildings. The city knew what I was doing here. It's obvious by the dates on all the paperwork. It's obvious by their own signatures and initials on the paperwork. It's obvious by the fact that they okayed my business license in the first place. It's obvious that there was no ambiguity to the description of the type of business I'm doing, because had there been any question in their minds, it would have been up to them to contact me and say, hey, we want you to, express this in a little more detail. The city was perfectly fine and happy with everything, and I have had a business license here now for 6 years. You tell me what's going on here. Okay, then it says discontinue all, get on that, discontinue all vehicle repair services on premises, remove all vehicles and equipment undergoing repair till such time as the property is developed and permitted and licensed for such use. Fact is that I don't repair any vehicles here. Once again, that goes back to those abandoned vehicles that were parked over here, okay? I don't have abandoned vehicles, and I'm not working on vehicles here. So now I'd like to tackle the impervious off-street parking. Let me just go ahead and we'll get the long shot on my alleyway here real quick. There's my alleyway. That's my son's car over there. You saw grandkids earlier. There's no vehicle that is obstructing this alleyway at all. Okay? Now, another fact. About 4.5 years ago, we've been living here about 2 years at the time, those abandoned vehicles that I've been talking about that were over here, that I believe that's what they're fixating on, thinking was the broken down vehicles. There was 2 of those sitting over there, and then I had my pickup truck, and I had my van, and they were parked right here. Okay? A Pasco police officer came into the alley and he ticketed both of my vehicles for improper parking and ticketed the vehicles that were over there that were not my vehicles. I came out and I took pictures and I went into court. the municipal court. And I showed the pictures. It's basically what you can see right here. Same thing the court saw. Showed those pictures to the assistant city attorney that was there. And he immediately dropped all the tickets. The judge agreed with him, and there were not even court costs. So there is no problem with parking. Now, when I have a customer come by here, they come by one at a time, sometimes two. They've called me, they've asked, hey, I want to see a mattress set, or hey, I want to look at that sofa set you've got. I say, come on by. They pull into the alley, and they pretty much park right there where my son's parked. I then bring them over here. They want a mattress. Fine, I got mattresses. So I show them a mattress. They like it, they buy it. Simple. I don't get the problem. Okay, well, that's basically it. That's my case. Those are the facts. All I ask is that this all just go away. This is impeding my my business. It's causing a lot of stress on my wife and I. And I'm gonna end right there. And then what I want to do is I'm going to hand y'all a DVD that covers some other aspects of this that I think you need to be taking a look at as well. But we won't run that right now. I just want to let you just weigh my case. Thank you very much. Okay, well, you know what? I guess just to close this thing out, what's happening here is we've got, by the record, by the facts that I just showed you with all the paperwork and the dates, that we have a code enforcement office that has not done their job properly. If they believe there's anything ambiguous about my business description and the fact that I do it out of my home, sell from storage on my home property, they should have contacted me back then, and we could have clarified if that's what they needed. But I think it was pretty plain and simple. I tried to make it very simple. KISS, keep it simple, stupid. What's coming down to is my livelihood, my wife's and my business, our little mom and pop thing here, is in jeopardy, and we could lose the income that we get from this. And I mean, you can look at what I've got here. I mean, I'm not getting rich, folks, but you know, I do make a decent living. My house will be paid off in 3.5 years. And that will be a $750 payment that I no longer have to make. My intention is to continue to do this as long as I feel up to it. I'm 51, and I can tell you that my health ain't been as good as it used to. My son, he works with me. He makes about $500 a month off of this. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but for his situation, it is, and it's going to affect my son's situation. You saw my grandkids earlier. His situation is this. His wife is in the Navy. She's active reserve. She's in the medical field. She's a surgical technician. He's got the two little kids that are 6 and 3, or 7 and 3. He comes here, he has my phone with that number on it to take the calls, and what he does is he works for me on a commission basis and an hourly $10 an hour basis, kind of partnered up with me on it. And so his income would also be in jeopardy because of that. Now, how does that work so well at a $500 a month for him? Well, he doesn't have to pay child care. His wife being in the Navy and her working full-time and having the two kids, this is just a really nice situation for him and for me and for the family as a whole. Okay, actually this is my son right here. Hey, Sean.
Hey, Dad. I didn't want to get on the camera. I was just going to talk to you about the fridge.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just telling about what your part is here.
Oh, okay.
And so it works out pretty good for you because $500 a month you make, kids you got covered because you don't have to worry about child care.
Yeah, and if I was working minimum wage, I'd be working 40 hours a week just to pay for childcare.
And yeah, and who's going to raise your kids then?
Some of these places are 60, 75 bucks a day for one kid. I got two.